What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Bourbon and Blunts. We have some new episodes coming at you this week. We're going to switch things up here a little bit on the podcast. So rather than doing just what's inside you and then a current event topic for the day, and then we'll finish it up with words of wisdom with digital slang, we're going to switch gears a little bit and kind of make the podcast solely about the what's inside you segment. It seems like our listeners and viewers like that the most. Not to mention there's a boatload of news podcasts out there, and so let's be a little bit different, and we'll still continue with our drinking a little bit and our smoking the sweet Chiba, so that will be a staple on the podcast. But the podcast will be about specific topics, and then what we're going to do is develop 5 questions around that specific topic, which we have already prepped prior to this podcast. And then Slang and I will go back and forth and answer those questions and probably dive a little bit deeper in that topic.
Yeah.
So anyways, if you haven't already, go check us out on YouTube. Go listen anywhere you want to listen to your podcast. So that's Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, anywhere you listen. Drop a comment, drop a sub. We really, really appreciate all the support. And so with that, we'll get into today's segment. The topic of today's segment is going to be porn. So
let's. We had a list. We had a list of things we wanted to talk about,
yes.
like 16 things, and I just randomly picked number 8, and that just happened.
happened to be porn.
So we didn't really want to talk about porn.
Yeah,
but.
I was like, let's just pick numbers out of the hat. So we wrote down a bunch of topics, and of course he picks this one.
Porn.
Porn figures. Anyways, so we have our 5 questions surrounding the topic of porn. If you're watching on YouTube and you want to comment about any one of these questions, please feel free. Really appreciate it. But anyways, my friend, would you like to go first? You want me to go first?
Proceed.
Okay. Well, let me get a little bit of the herb.
Smoke the herb. Speaking of bourbon and blunts, a lot of short form content is on the way. Like a ton of we're switching it up because we want to produce more short form content because that seems to do better.
Yeah.
So that's why we're doing what we're doing. But speaking of that, bourbon and blunts. Today, I filled out a job application for a creator to
Rolling papers?
Yeah.
Yeah, you did?
Yeah.
My man,
Yeah.
buddy, let's go.
Yeah.
I saw that, and I don't know why I didn't think of you.
Yeah.
But I saw that, I was like, well, I don't create shit, so, and I don't know why I don't know why you didn't come to my mind. I should have sent, now I'm kicking myself in the knees. I'm glad you freaking saw that.
Somebody sent it to me.
Nice.
Yeah, somebody sent me the link, and
Yeah.
they were like, I thought of you for this. So I looked at it, and I was like, they were like hiring for a content creator that smokes weed.
Yeah.
And they just want to create content and get you high.
Sweet. Dude, and they were paying fairly well.
It's like $70,000
Yeah,
a year,
yeah.
but I'm good with that. To travel, they're going to fly you to marijuana shows.
Okay.
And you just got to create content for them.
Sweet, buddy. I freaking love that,
So
man.
I sent them like an application with the podcast and,
Oh, okay.
and everything. Yeah.
Nice, dude.
I mean,
that's awesome.
I'm sure there's a million people that are going to.
I'm sure, but you know what? Hey, it's worth a shot.
Yeah, it's like hitting the lottery.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's worth a shot. So actually, you got better chances than the lottery. So I'm rooting for you, buddy.
It'd be cool.
It would be cool. All right, so today's topic is on porn. And first question for you, my friend.
Sure.
So what impact do you think porn has on society's view of sex and sexuality?
I think people need to be careful of, quote unquote, those people are professionals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I think
there's a lot of amateurs out there, though.
There are. A ton.
Yeah.
Millions. But I think people need to be careful not to get their expectations too high if they're watching porn.
Okay.
Like if you think that you're going to do that with your girl, if you think you can do that with your girl, maybe you can, maybe you can't.
Right.
Just don't get your expectations too high. It'll give you some good ideas.
Definitely could.
Yeah.
For sure.
But
Do you think it sets unrealistic expectations?
I do.
Yeah.
For most people. Not everyone. For most people, of course.
Okay.
That's like watching a Major League Baseball game and thinking you can go out and do that.
Right.
Like, shoot for the stars, right?
Right.
If that's your goal,
right,
go try and achieve it, but just be careful.
Yeah. Yeah, I do think it has overall, a negative effect on society's view of sex and expectations, especially like even in today's society where it's like more accessible.
Oh yeah, it's free everywhere.
It's everywhere, right? And
I've seen it on Facebook.
Yeah, oh, dude, it's all over every freaking social media platform, which is weird.
It's weird. I saw somebody mentioned it to me that you can see porn on Facebook, and I was like, no, this was like last year, and I was like, no, you can't. I've never seen it.
Right.
And literally, like a week later, it was on my news feed.
Really?
The thumbnail was just two people fucking.
Oh wow.
I didn't click on it,
right.
But the thumbnail was two people having sex.
Right. Wow. Interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think there's there's a negative impact on society overall due to the ease of access to porn, and it starts creating some type of unrealistic expectations between partners as well, or could create unrealistic expectations between partners.
I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily see it between, because if you're watching it with your partner,
right,
and you're just watching it to like try something new,
yeah,
or to learn something new.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that sets high expectations if you're doing it together.
Okay.
But if you're doing it separately, that might be a little different.
Okay. All right. Fair enough, buddy. Fair enough. Do you want to want me to answer all
go
the
5.
Okay.
Go 5. And then
we'll go 5 for 5. Okay.
You got it. Oh, well, you answered already. All right.
Yeah. So with the overall increased availability of porn, what do you think the effects are on people's relationships?
Again, this goes back to them if you're doing it together.
All right, let's say you're not doing it together. Because I would venture to say the norm is people not watching porn together. I would say that's more common than people watching porn together.
Probably.
Yes.
It's probably going to have a negative effect on your relationship.
How so? What do you think?
I mean, first off, you're thinking about somebody else probably.
Okay.
Because you're watching two other people fuck.
Maybe.
Right? Maybe you're thinking about your partner.
Okay.
But maybe you're not.
Right.
Watching it separately if you're in a relationship. I've never thought of that. Never thought of any of these questions.
Yeah. Oh, really, I haven't either, to be quite honest with you. This is the first time thinking about it.
That's good. If you have an answer, shoot while I think.
I think overall, it probably could have a more negative impact on relationships. Maybe not directly people that are in a relationship, although that in and of itself, there could be a negative impact because now maybe it's like, well, you're getting that fix via watching porn rather than actually having sex with your partner, right? I mean, how many people do you feel like you know or have heard of where, oh man, I haven't had sex with my wife in freaking 2 years, or I haven't had sex with my husband in 5 years.
Get a divorce.
Dude, I mean, I've heard that
years? You've heard years?
I've heard years.
I've never heard
people.
years.
Years with people.
I've heard months.
I've heard a lot of months too.
Yeah, I've never heard years.
You know, but
I mean, there's no point in being with that person if it's years.
Well,
even months.
But also you think about sex in general. Sex is just a aspect of a relationship. It is not the
but it's
overall.
important.
It's important. I'm not saying it's not important.
It brings you closer.
I would say it's a third of the relationship. That's my thought. I say a third because I feel like you have a friendship, you have a romantic partnership, and then you have a sexual relationship.
Yeah, but without the physical, you don't build that foundation.
I understand.
You know what I mean?
I get it.
Without it, you're just a friend.
Yeah, I get it. I get it. Okay.
I think it's more like 40, 45% of a relationship.
Okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
The other negative aspect is people that are single. Right now, think about let's say you're more of like an incel or a recluse, and you're just not very comfortable going out and putting yourself out there to go seek a relationship, or maybe you just have had a real hard time finding a connection and an intimate relationship. Well, now this is the next best thing, and it's like you don't even have to work for it. So I think it could create a slippery slope to where for certain people, now it's like, well, rather than going out and seeking connection and then also seeking a sexual connection with someone, I could just get it right here on my phone or the computer.
I mean, I think that to a degree, I think that's true, but I think it's not as bad as it was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, because now, even if you are a homebody, you could swipe on Tinder, swipe on, you don't have to leave your house. You know what I mean? You could just get that date without leaving your bedroom.
Right. You can get that date, but this is talking about, this is talking about sex, And again, what if you are not comfortable putting yourself out there?
Well,
Which
then-
I think a lot more people, it seems like with younger generations.
I mean, if you're just that dude sitting home and watching porn all day and not trying to date, I mean, I feel sorry for you.
They're out there, man.
I feel
And
sorry.
I feel like they're, I don't know what the data is, but I feel like it's becoming increasingly more. Because I know there is a lot of data as far as like younger generations, like they're driving later, they're having sex later, they're getting married later.
It might be more because porn it's everywhere. You can pull that shit up on your phone. You can download it anywhere you want, and you don't even have to pay for it anymore. You can find that shit for free if you look.
Yeah, true.
Yeah,
True. Okay. Do you think porn influences individuals' expectation on sex?
yeah.
How so?
Like the first question, they're going to think that they could do what they're watching on TV.
Do you think it creates an unrealistic expectation?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say so too, man, because you figure, I think a lot of people, this is just from my anecdotal experience, but it just really seems like a lot of people can tend to be bashful behind, like,
In the bedroom?
In the bedroom, right? And maybe that's just from their upbringing, maybe it's religious background, but I feel like a lot of people are uncomfortable with that
Just
dynamic,
letting loose.
just letting loose. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can understand that. Like it's if you're taught certain things growing up, like it might be perceived as a little bit more taboo.
But watching porn might free you from that.
It could, but it's also, again, if this is a new thing, it now can start. Certain individuals might think they need to behave in a certain way that is unnatural to them, right? So they might have to be, I'm going to be.
They're going to try and act like that porn star.
Exactly. When the reality is, I feel like a lot of people don't want that. You know, I've watched some interviews over the years of like actual porn stars, and they're like, in my private life, I don't want to be a porn star.
It's such an interesting thing. Like, I would love to interview like a porn star.
Me too.
And talk to them like, all right, this is you on TV. What do you like?
What do you like in person?
What do you like in the bedroom?
Right, at home.
Do you have a husband? Do you have a boyfriend?
Right,
Like, are
right.
you that in the bedroom?
It seems like the average, and again, this just a handful of interviews I've watched over the years. It seems like they just like, they'd rather just have regular vanilla type sex, and that's okay with them. They like that.
Let me tell you something. I can never date a porn star, first off. Like,
I don't think I'd want to do that either.
no fucking chance.
No.
But say you were that type of person and you're watching this girl do everything on TV, and then you're home with her and she
Right.
does nothing.
Right.
Like, that's
But-
a problem.
Maybe, but you also got to think about like in a way, it's like you're acting, you're performing.
That's a whole different level of.
It's true. It's a whole different dynamic of a human being, or like human nature, right? But think about like just a movie star or a movie actor.
Yeah, like a sex scene, like
right.
even a sex scene
just
for a movie star.
or just in general. It's like you are putting on a performance. This is not really who you are.
I mean, in a way, it is. I think in a way, it is for a porn star.
Maybe some of them.
Yeah, I think in a way. I mean, they just love sex.
I would say
That's why they're doing
Yeah,
it.
I think so, and that's fine. But that also doesn't mean they need to. They're in their private life that they're wild and crazy too. It could just be hey, I want to just
I'm
be
sure.
loved.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like I think that's my perception a little bit.
I could never.
I don't think I could either.
never.
Yeah, I don't think I could.
No
either.
way.
Probably insecure. I'm insecure with that.
Well, I would be too.
Yeah.
How could you not be?
I feel like and again, this is part of the other interviews that I've listened to. It's like in that type of industry, it's like you have to date someone who's in that industry because they understand because they're in it.
Well, you would have to date another porn star.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's kind of what it seems like. But yeah, I feel like it does create some type of unrealistic expectation, especially if you're newer to sex. It's like, I have to perform like this. And the reality is like, no, you don't. You got to learn together what each other like and all that sort of stuff. So
you can get ideas and try shit.
for sure, but I think that's down the road. But I think a lot of people initially feel like they might have to live up to that. And I think that can create a very unrealistic expectation behind closed doors.
It definitely will create an unrealistic expectation.
Do you think that, this is question 4, do you think that there should be more government regulation surrounding porn?
No.
I agree. No. Why are you saying
Stay
no?
the fuck out of it.
That's what I'm saying, bro.
Stay the fuck out of the bedroom.
That's what I'm saying.
You don't belong there.
Yeah, you don't belong there. Don't,
No,
right.
They don't belong there.
What I do think there needs to be more of, and this is just the initial thought that comes off the top of my head, I do think there needs to be a little bit more of, in society as a whole, teaching about discipline. Because I think discipline is a foundational element in order to help create change in one's life.
Discipline
with anything.
Apply that shit to anything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, rather than like trying to treat the symptom, why don't you treat the root cause? Maybe a lot of people are lonely, lack discipline potentially, lack connection. So why don't we treat some of the root causes rather than trying to treat the symptom of a problem? But I think part of the problem could be lack of discipline. It's just like if you're sitting at home all day watching porn, whacking off, like you're not being very productive.
Not very productive at all.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You're going to be miserable at some point.
What do you think, if any, do you think there's any long-term effects of porn consumption?
People say there is. I mean, like you just said, if you're that dude that's just sitting at home by himself all day, just jerking off, or a girl playing with herself, whatever it may be, and you're just doing that, you're not really going to have a social life ever.
Now, have you found when you're watching gay porn, have you found that?
I was waiting for some comment to come. That's like your bestiality. I mean, it's the same thing.
Oh man, there was actually I never saw it. I heard about it. It was like some dude like getting it from a horse.
Dude, I walked into...
You watched that?
No, I didn't watch it. I walked in... I was working at a shop. I'm not going to say the name of the shop. I walked into a print shop. Well, I was working there at a shop in Allentown, and I walked into the ink room, and the guy that was running the ink department, he had a laptop, and he's watching a woman getting nailed by a horse. Just watching it at work.
And like it was normal.
Like it was normal. I mean, no, he was freaking out about it. He was like some Italian dude from New York, so he's like all extra and shit.
Hey, Giovanni, look at this shit.
He was going crazy. He was calling people in, like, check this out. Like, dude, you're watching porn at work, man.
Yeah. Well, that's like a novelty now.
Yeah.
That's like a novelty. Yeah, but apparently this guy was, apparently it was like hundreds of times, like he'd videotape himself with a horse.
That can kill you.
Oh, he got killed.
Oh,
he died.
of course.
He died one time because they ruptured his intestines. Can you imagine that?
A horse is like that.
Yeah, I couldn't
That's like
imagine.
my Jesus joke.
What's your Jesus dude joke?
You don't remember? I think I told you this already.
I don't know.
Why do all the girls follow Jesus? Because he's hung like this.
You're messed up. You're messed up. I don't like that joke. I get it, though.
It's funny.
It's kind of funny.
It's funny.
In a way.
It's funny.
It's kind of sad. All right.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah.
Was that 5?
That's 5, buddy.
right.
That's 5.
Now mine are going to be not as serious, of course,
okay.
because I'm here for comedy.
It's fine.
I'm
It's
here.
fine. Let's break
I'm
it
here
up.
for comedy relief.
Break it up.
First off, any of these questions, I'm excluding myself from you answering.
What, so I'm the only one that has to answer?
No. Okay. If you had to have a sex change, what part of your body would you want enhanced more than anything else?
Oh, probably my ass. You know what I mean? Probably my ass.
Asses are in now. Yeah.
Asses are in. I wouldn't want big old toddies. Reason being is because it's not very practical. That's built for comfort, not speed. I want to be built for speed. All right. So having too big of breasts, like that would just slow me down. I want to keep my penis, right, for obvious reasons, but probably like a bigger ass. And the reason being is because it could probably generate more power. So I have more explosive ability, generate a lot more force, probably lift a little bit more weights, but I got to build a muscle tissue. So, this is just like a synthetic enhancement. So I don't know if there would actually be any real world transfer. However, in my mind, I can kind of make believe that I got more powerful legs, powerful
Glutes.
Yeah. What would you pick?
It'd be ass too.
Be ass.
Yeah, asses are in, man.
For what reason? Would you like?
I'm an ass guy.
Would you like stare at your ass in the mirror?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which like, oh damn. Would you like?
Look at my curves.
Would you like turn around?
Probably.
Like,
That's what they do now in the gym or everywhere.
Give like
I don't know. I would blow myself a kiss like you just blew yourself a kiss.
You would.
No, I'm
You'd
not.
be like that.
I don't do that.
Dude, did you see some of those freaking gym pants, man? That some of the girls wear.
I just had this conversation the other day. Oh my God. If that was my daughter,
I would be having a hard time.
you girls wear nothing at the gym. Nothing.
Well, I don't go to a regular gym, so I don't have to see that. But I've seen videos and stuff like that. I'm just like, golly, damn. That's like you're like not even wearing anything.
You could see everything.
Yeah,
You could
yeah.
see everything.
I mean,
and then they get pissed when guys are looking.
I watched those platform whatever the profiles that highlight all that stuff. You're getting pissed. It's like well,
the one guy I was watching on TikTok, and he's like a famous like influencer slash like mentor to a lot of people, and he was straight up saying like, if you're gonna wear that shit, I don't give a fuck if you catch me. I'm looking. He was like, I don't care. You're wearing that at the gym,
right?
Putting it in my face. And you expect me not to look?
Yeah, and some of these like pants, it like accentuates
it's
the ass.
It's a lie, actually. You know what I mean? Some of it have padding in the butt.
Oh,
like,
I believe it.
Yeah.
But you know which ones I'm talking about that have like they're like real light colored, and then they'll have like a gray strip around the ass or something like that.
I mean, if that was my daughter or my
I don't think I'd be able to.
I'd be mad.
I'd say, sweetie. I mean, obviously, if they're
throw some sweatpants on.
Yeah, I mean, if my daughter was a grown adult, there's not much I can say. But if they're a teenager, I'm like, nah, you can't do that.
So speaking of that, to turn it around to guys, apparently like gray sweatpants and gray shorts for guys are like
a no.
No, it's like lingerie for women. Look at gray sweatpants and gray like gym shorts as lingerie for men. And I've heard this a lot.
How come everybody always makes fun of people that are wearing gray pants?
I literally sent Tara a TikTok today of some dude. He was like, I'm going to prank my girl. She was getting home from work, and he was walking out the door going to the gym. He was like, I'm going to prank her. I'm wearing these. He had gray gym shorts on. And he's like, I'm gonna prank her to see if she stops me from going to the gym because I'm wearing gray shorts. And sure enough, she said, where the fuck you going dressed like that?
Wait, is that because you can see your meat stamp easier?
You can see the whole outline.
The whole bulge.
The whole thing.
Yeah.
They know exactly what you got in gray shorts or
Interesting.
sweatpants.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Dude, today I was wearing this morning I ran this morning and I had like a tannish color sweatpants. They're just beat up. I wear them and they're like joggers, right? So they're tighter. You can see everything.
It's just flat, right?
No. You can see my whole
yeah, it's
the whole
flat
bulge.
For you.
Yeah, you can see my chin.
There's nothing there.
Right, there's a little
just your clit. Right. Exactly, I know. I know.
Shit, you're funny, dude. Next question.
If you had to choose, how many days do you think you could abstain from sex or masturbation at a stretch?
Oh, I don't know.
No sex.
No sex.
No sex. How
No
long
sex
could you go with no sex with your girl? Before it started to bother you?
I don't know, 2 weeks. Before I think after a week I'd be like, something don't feel right. And then 2 weeks like that, I'd start probably getting a little concerned.
Concerned?
Yeah. Yeah. What about you, dude?
I mean, a week or two.
Okay,
so
around the same ballpark. Yeah.
I'd be like, what's up?
Right. Yeah, what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah, because then at that point, I feel like, at least I would be thinking like, okay, this could now easily become a habit. Because like you know this just as well as I do, dude. You start getting caught up in your life. You're busy. Both people are busy. Like you're working.
You can use that as an excuse.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
But then all of a sudden, like, okay, fine. And now 2 weeks rolls by and it's just like, wait a minute, we haven't been intimate at all. Like, what's going on? And like, it could easily be lulled into that. And then all of a sudden, it's fucking 2 years.
Or a month or two.
Or a month or two. Yeah. I mean, the month or two is a little bit more common than the year thing. Yeah, but I have heard of people.
If it's a year, just get a divorce.
Yeah, it's
just
over
get a
that. Like, I mean, there's no more intimacy now.
If it's 6 months, 5 months, 4 months, just get a divorce.
I feel there's a problem.
Yeah,
there's a problem.
You don't.
Sure.
You're not getting that back. If you're going that long, you're not coming back.
True. Now, I also think it might not be a problem with you. It might be a problem with them because there might be some insecurity with them.
Yeah, but that all comes back to communication.
It does.
Like if you're not communicating about it, that's a bigger problem.
But I also think people have a harder time communicating, or can have a hard time communicating about sex.
Yeah, of course.
Because it maybe in overall society, it could be looked at as a little bit more taboo, so to speak. So,
What gets you? I don't know why these questions are here. So part of me doesn't even want to ask these questions because I don't want to know the answer.
Oh God.
What gets you aroused faster, phone sex or sexting? Which is texting, for those that don't know.
I'm going to say sexting.
Yeah?
Yeah. Because then it leaves a little bit more to the imagination.
It does. I would agree with that. Yeah, sexting's... Yeah, because I feel like sexting, if you're sexting, I feel like maybe you're on your way there to see her or you're like coming over later or something and it's like foreplay.
Okay.
Whereas phone sex, like that's the deed.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you're not going to see her.
Right.
Like,
dude, I got a funny story. Not really about sexting, but when I was in my undergrad.
The next question.
All right, save it. When I was in my undergrad, so my buddies and I, we would have like categories for women. So obviously we're in our early 20s. I forget what we called the 20-year-old range, but 30 to 40 was, I think we called it cougars. Okay.
How old were you?
I was 21.
And you were calling, what
30,
age were you calling
30
cougars?
to 40, we categorize them as cougars.
Okay.
40 to 50, we categorize them as jaguars. And then 60 plus, 50, no wait, yeah, 40 to 50. And then 50 plus, I think we call them lionesses, right? So I was 21, I had sex with a 45-year-old. You know, bragging to my buddies and everything. I was like, oh shit, bagged me a freaking jaguar last night, baby. So I freaking texted my buddies, right? I accidentally texted her.
Oh, shit.
It was like, I remember exactly where I was at too.
What'd you say to her?
I was like, oh shit. I was like, this is just like, it was just a joke. I was calling you a jaguar, like a cougar. And
Trying to cover your tracks.
Make it up. I mean, knew I was never going to see this person again.
Yeah. That's funny.
But it was kind of funny.
All right, you ready?
Ready.
This goes back to your bestiality.
Oh God.
If you had to pick an animal, which...
Come on, man.
It's not what you think. It's not what you think. Just that started that though. Definitely. If you had to pick an animal, which animal do you find the sexiest? At least I'm not asking you which animal would you sleep with. Which animal do you find sexy?
Can it be an extinct animal?
Yeah, sure.
Neanderthal.
That's not an animal. That's a person. You can't go. No, you got to pick an animal. Answer the question right.
Do I think it's the sexiest? I can honestly say there's never been an animal where I'm like, fuck.
I hope not.
I was like, shit.
Look at that.
Damn that horse's ass.
That's fucking hilarious.
Oh, man.
That's not easy to answer.
No, it's not easy to answer. Let's think about this.
Sexy animal. What do you guys think? What is a sexy animal?
Yeah, drop a comment below. Let us know what you think, you weirdos.
It's so weird.
God, I feel weird even answering this question. All right, what animal could I remotely say? Like, shit. Okay. All right. Okay, maybe if I were the animal, I'd be like, damn, that's sexy. All right, so let's think about this now. Maybe a baboon. Because, like, I think, is it baboons? No, maybe it's chimpanzees. I think chimpanzees, when the females are in heat, I think their anus gets real pink. So if I was if I was a chimpanzee, I'd be like, shit, that's sexy. I'm going to go chimpanzee.
That's a weird answer.
There's no response to this. It's not weird.
I know. It's so bad. I think for me, it would be, first I was going to say, what was I going to say? I was going to try to be funny and like just say pussycat. But no, I think a Black Panther.
Oh, a Black Panther. That's kind of sexy.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Black Panther.
Yeah.
Cool eyes, smooth skin.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, you don't really see their skin, but smooth
coat. Yeah.
Clean, crisp.
I think my answer was good.
I liked your answer.
Yeah.
I kind of think my answer was good, too.
Question number 4. Is this 4?
I think it's 5.
Have you ever accidentally and yet intentionally kissed someone or tried kissing someone?
Oh, yeah, many times.
So like an accident.
Oh, an accident?
Yeah, but it wasn't really an accident, but you kind of made it seem like an
accident. Oh, I thought you were
accident.
somebody else. That type of thing?
Is that what you said? I thought you were somebody else.
You said accidentally kiss somebody.
That's what the question says.
Like, what do you say to somebody?
Have you ever accidentally It says accidentally and yet intentionally.
Right. Because
so
deep
it's
down
not an
inside,
accident.
right,
So it's not an
right.
accident.
Now, does this person know?
Well, yeah, if you tried kissing
For
them.
sure. For sure. Dude, I remember many times when I was in college, freaking dancing my face off. Yeah, I freaking love dancing in the clubs. Dancing my face off. Dancing
You tried to
with
kiss people in the clubs?
Dude, you're dancing with this girl? For sure. All the time.
I don't think I've ever tried to kiss
You've
someone.
never done that?
Not in a club.
Really?
No, I was never that dude. I mean, I danced with plenty of girls in the club, but I never went in for a kiss.
Oh, listen, it was mutual. It's not like
yeah,
I was turned away.
Never went in for a kiss
Really?
in a club. No.
Oh, yeah, because that always led to something else. Could have.
Well, yeah, I could have, but no, I was just never that dude.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I thought you would be.
A dance at a club, yeah.
Yeah,
of
I
course.
know, but I
All the time.
just made the assumption.
No,
I thought that
I
was
never-
standard guy thing.
No, I never did it.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I think it could be a standard girl thing because I mean,
Oh,
it's
well,
not-
yeah, I'm sure
I mean,
girls do it
it's-
all the time.
I mean, it's not like I wasn't forcing anybody.
I saw this video on it was either Instagram Reels or TikTok, and there was some dude dancing on the floor, and he was fucked up, and there was a girl like probably about the same distance we are, and she had a mask on, and he
I think I've seen
and
this.
he went in to kiss. And she turned around because the mask was on the back of her head. And he was like this close to kissing her on the lips, but he thought it was the front of her.
Right.
But it was her back. It was her
Oh,
fucking back. And she
man.
turned around and looked at him like, what the fuck are you doing?
Right. Ooh.
Yeah.
Ooh. I think it was 5, right, buddy?
I think so.
Yeah. All right, that was a good little topic. It kind of got a little weird with your freaking animal question.
I'm just reading the question. I literally Googled, what did I Google? First off, the epanky.com is the website. But I Googled like funniest questions to ask about porn.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Anyways, everybody, so that will do it for our new segment. Not necessarily new, but our new layout for Bourbon and Blunts. If you like this, please subscribe. Go check us out on YouTube, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Also, you can check us out on mostly all social media platforms, so you can look us up. We'll be posting short clips of every segment kind of going forward.
Yep, YouTube Shorts, Instagram Reels.
Stuff on Twitter, shorts on Twitter.
The Twitter.
The X.
The
X. It's
yeah,
X now.
the X.
So,
the Facebook.
yeah, the Facebook.
Facebook has shorts.
It does?
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense considering
Everybody's
Instagram
trying to do
Reels.
it. Everybody's
It's the same.
trying
It's,
to do
right.
everything.
It's the same
Yeah.
thing. So, anyways, everybody, we love you. Thank you so much for all your support, and we'll see you soon.
Deuces.
Bye.